Hello everyone, my name is Anna Viad from Teaching Growth. I wanted to touch base with you guys real quick. We had a lot of parents and students that are a little concerned about the school closures, and we want to let you know we are here for you. We are coming together as a team and creating resources and making sure that you guys have some quality remote learning going on at home. However, I did want to address one thing really quickly in this first little video, and that is I had a parent reach out and their student has ADHD, and when you have a student that is ADHD or is hyperactive, being at home can feel a little restricting. Being told that they can't be on their video games all day can feel like it's all of a sudden being at home is a punishment. And you may start to get some backlash or some, behavioral issues going on. And of course, we don't want that. That's not conducive to them feeling comfortable at home or being learning or any of the family dynamics. So my first suggestion to everybody, just until we get all the resources up and ready for you and we start mailing these out, is that you have your student make their own schedule. Now, I worked with a student on this today, and of course you don't have to copy it directly. This was made for a 10-year-old, but it'll look very different depending on your student's needs, for sure. I am going to walk you through some of it just because I think that some of these things are really important, but there's a lot to be said and gained here. On the one hand, it's going to make them feel like they have a bigger sense of control. It's a good opportunity to learn time management skills, because before you know it, they're going to have something in there of like, oh, I'm going to finish reading my entire book, and they're going to give themselves 15 minutes. And it's a good opportunity to reflect a little bit on that. But more importantly, it helps them also just have some structure to look forward to. So a few things are going to be important when creating a schedule, and one is that there's enough breaks. Again, we don't want to make it feel like they're being punished in any way. And the other thing is give them feedback until they're done, check their times, but give them that freedom of I'm even curious to see what some of my students come up with in terms of their schedule. But I'm going to run you through this real quick. For example, they started with Make My Bed. If you've never seen a YouTube video about the benefits of making your bed, I strongly recommend you look it up. I'll put it in the description because it's very motivational. It sets the day up for success. And I honestly feel that every student and adult should see it. We talked about breakfast. They wanted to start with their reading because they felt that they're fresher in the morning and reading's the hardest for them. And so they gave themselves some time to read and journal, and immediately after that it was a break. Now what was really cool was we actually did a list of things of what a break looks like. For some students it was just like drawing, listening to music, or whether it was just kind of watching TV for a little bit. But I do recommend that you kind of time it so you don't lose control over the day. So make sure that shortly after that there's something exciting to look forward to. And in this case, I put physical activity. Some students are going out, riding their bikes, walking with their parents. That's all fantastic. But if you're feeling a little bit more like, no, we really want to stay inside, then keep in mind there's a lot of ways to stay active even inside. You could do yoga with your children. My nephews are big fans of getting on YouTube and just putting just dance videos and just going at it. There are a lot of resources out there, and I'm going to make sure to include a couple in the links below just so you guys have something to go off of. We talked about washing our hands and helping with lunch as well as chores. So keep in mind that they need to be aware of their environment, right? It's not just because this is time that they would have been in school. This is a great time to create some empathy in the family of like, hey, this is what normally goes on when you're at school, and this time you have an opportunity to help. It's a good opportunity to create a deep founded appreciation for the work that goes on at home. So I would definitely capitalize on that a little bit. Then they gave themselves their math and science in the afternoon, but as a reward. So notice how the rewards are coming after the academic activities. As a reward, they later had me time. I think me time is huge, right? Don't underestimate how, especially some of your older elementary, middle, and high schoolers might need a break from the family, whether it's that they're, going to get on their video games or something like that. It should be something that they're looking forward to, because after working their morning and making the best of it, they should feel like they get some time to do whatever it is that relaxes them. I asked a couple of my students what me time looked like, and one of them just said a nap. The other one actually was saying, well, maybe I'll bake something, or it really does depend on your needs. I have a lot of artists and singers, and so a lot of them was just like listen to music, whatever it is that they want to choose. And then we have Genius Project, more on that on our next videos coming along. I recommend you just go ahead and follow us. We'll try and give you as many tips as we can. And then they included supper, family game time, and bedtime. I do think that the bedtime portion can be a little important. You can be as flexible with it as you want, but at some point school is going to get back, and just in general for our health, we want to make sure that we're keeping a healthy amount of sleep. They are growing after all. So I am going to go ahead and make a PDF of this and include a link that you guys can use to look at it. When you're giving your child feedback on it, my top 3 tips for you is make sure that it's specific, that it's helpful, and that it's kind. What I mean to say by this is, if my daughter gave herself a 3-hour block to look up YouTube or TikTok, what wouldn't be productive at all is to be like, you're crazy, a lot of times that's what happens with our kiddos, is we can be really direct in the way we talk to them, saying something like, your handwriting's atrocious, fix that, isn't helpful. It's, it can be a little hurtful, and it's not specific enough. So a better way to phrase something like that would be like, why don't you make sure that your letters are touching both lines? If it's a top letter, that you're touching the top line. If it's a bottom letter, that you're touching the bottom line. That way I can distinguish between your H and your N a little better. See, that's specific, it's not really offending anybody, and it's useful to them because now they're realizing, oh, okay, well, the lines are going to help improve my handwriting. So just keep in mind when you're giving feedback to your children that you're keeping those 3 things in mind, okay? Kind, specific, useful. Because at the end of the day, we want this to be an opportunity for you guys to come together and collaborate as a team with all these accomplishments that you'll be doing, but not so much them, feeling bad or uncomfortable about how they're going about doing their learning, because it's going to be new for them just as it's new for you. But we're here for you guys. We're going to be continuing to post resources, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate to go to our website, www.teachinggrowth.com, and in that website there is a contact form. Feel free to drop a question. We will get back to you as soon as we can, and if there's anything we can do to help, that's what we're here for. Have a great day.